Peace. Well, well, well. Welcome into another episode of Outside Shots, and the timing could not be more perfect. If you ask us, I'm here with Jump Shot 8, the one, the only, Eddie Johnson. I'm Saul Bookman, and Mike Budenholzer is no longer the head coach of your Phoenix Suns. So, I mean, I kind of love it. I'm not going to lie. Listen, you can't have a season like you had this year, not have some edge roll. I assume that that's not going to be the only one. It is time for things to get really serious here in the Valley, and Mike Budenholzer is now the third coach in 3 years to be fired by the Phoenix Suns. But as our very own Gerald Bourguet just said on Twitter, anybody trying to position this as a scapegoating situation just has not been paying attention to this team whatsoever. The amount of foolishness that has happened on that sideline was one of many problems, but Coach Bud is gone as a result of some of those issues, and we're here to talk about it. Initial reactions.
Yeah, let's give respect though. Chris D. Haynes is the one that reported it this morning. The reason we able to talk about it because we do trust that, you know, he's pretty much been assured that's what happened. Is it a surprise? No, it's never a surprise. I've said this time and time again. I said it with Vogel. I said it with Monty. I've been around the league too long. I can pretty much read the attitude. I can read the tenor of the situation. And this is a win-loss league. That's what it is. And you're going to be judged by wins. We've had some coaches that were not great people, but they won. You know, that's just the way it is. It has nothing to do with the individual coach. It just has a lot to do with wins and losses and expectations. And expectations was not reached at a drastic level this year. I'm still in shock that I'm sitting here right now and the Suns aren't even having an opportunity in a play-in. Like 36 wins. I would have lost every penny I had if somebody had bet me that would have happened. So if that's my worst nightmare, and I'm sure that's what the mindset too of ownership, front office, then it's not a shock.
Yeah,
it's just not a shock at all. And it's probably not even a shock to Bud. He's been around the league a long time. He's been fired before. So, you know, I always say coaches are hired to be fired. It's a rarity that a coach can just stay with one team. Greg Popovich is a rarity. Jerry Sloan was a rarity. As great as Phil Jackson was, he got, you know, moved on from the Bulls. Moved on from the Lakers, then he came back. But doesn't matter. George Karl once got fired. And I think he had one coach of the year or something. Lionel Hollins got fired. He had taken Memphis, I think, to the conference finals or something like that. Rick Carlisle got fired in Detroit after they went to the conference finals. Then they won the championship under Larry Brown. Larry Brown got removed a number of times, and part of it was him wanting to be moved. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like on down the line, it doesn't matter. You know you're going to get fired. So what are you going to do to hang on? Now this is where the discussion comes with Bud. You can look back on it, look in the mirror, and say, what did I do wrong? And, you know, that's going to be the conversation now about what he did wrong on his side of the ledger as the players.
It's complicated, and obviously we don't know all the details. You know, you're behind the scenes a lot more than any of us are. But I think at the end of the day, it just felt like there was no really coherent plan from start to finish for Coach Bud. Like if you watch the rotations, even as recently as the last 2 days, the fact that you had fan appreciation night and you wouldn't even put Bol in at any point in time, despite the fact that you were up easily by 18 to 20 points. I don't get that. Yesterday, you start Plumlee over Iguodala in a meaningless game, and you have, you know, I thought Iguodala was going to push at least 30, 35 minutes yesterday, and he didn't. He didn't even get the start. It just never made any sense. None of these moves all season long made any sense, and it felt like if you want to sit here and talk about the consistency of this team and how inconsistent, or how consistently they were inconsistent, then you got to point to the head coach first in terms of the way he went about his business in organizing this team, his substitution patterns, lack thereof. There was just really no focus overall is my takeaway. It felt like a complete, just always in disarray. There was no coherent plan. If you looked at the Phoenix Suns, you're like, what's their identity? I don't know. What is their identity? They got some great scorers. They've tried to play team basketball every now and then. Sometimes they play hard, sometimes they don't. It's just all over the place. And to me, that is Blake, and listen, attitude reflects leadership. When you see Bradley Beal over there laughing his ass off down the sideline because Steph Curry just hit a three in his face because he doesn't have a care in the world, he's going to get his 50+ million. I mean, heck, you only have to look down the road and see Coach Bud. Looks like he doesn't have a worry in the world either. Every single press conference, it's just like, oh, we just got to get it back together. We're right there. It's just, these guys are playing. They're playing together, but they're just, we're just not, we don't have the breaks and blah, blah, blah. Like all the BS coach talk that we all hate. If there's any one thing that I'm going to take away from this season, it is outside of Kevin Durant on Twitter, I am so effing tired of the same BS message by every single person in that organization about how everything's going to be okay. We just got to find our way. No, you have some systematic issues that are going on right now that have been apparent for the last couple of years. And you're trying to rotate coaches in and out, and it ain't working because you're picking the wrong coaches. You're picking coaches that have already been there, done that. They have no motivation to be premier coaches. Like, I want somebody in here that's not only going to push the players and the organization, but also push themselves to be the very best in the business. And not a single one of these last coaches has ever looked, felt, or appeared that way. They've just been here for the check, and they've moved on. So I'm not sad to see Mike Budenholzer go. I know at the beginning it felt like maybe this was a change in the right direction that the Suns needed after the Frank Vogel era, and the hometown kid comes back home to coach the team that he grew up watching, and everything's all good. And then it wasn't. And it wasn't very early on. It was very apparent. Hell, in the preseason, I was hearing like, this isn't, I don't know about this. Like, that's not a good thing to hear before you've even got to game one of the regular season. Let alone we get, into the regular season. Hey, listen, they started off on fire, and you're thinking, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. And then it just absolutely wasn't. And I'm just, this franchise is in a world of hurt right now. But just like everything in life, nothing is ever as bad as you think it is. And I think there are some paths to be able to improve this roster and improve the overall outlook of the Phoenix Suns as you move forward. But you're going to have some pains in the immediate future, I think.
Well, I mean, look, you have a point. I mean, you can argue that. A lot of times, I think, it's like anything else. It's like,
why am I
sometimes
watching
people might think they're sick of the...
Katie is literally gone. Oh, they talking about my GOAT right here. They talking about my GOAT.
This is Google Pixel 9a with Gemini.
They
it's
talking
free
about
at Verizon, with plans starting at $30 a line. And this is Nicole asking, where the heck are you? And Gemini helping you respond in the style of Shakespeare. So get Google Pixel 9a on us and our new 3-year price lock guarantee with plans starting at $30 a line.
Projected number one pick, Paige Beckers, is signing a 3-year deal with a 3-on-3 league Unrivaled. Last year, Beckers signed an NIL deal with Unrivaled to achieve her equity in the league, but she didn't play in Unrivaled while finishing her college career. Her first-year salary for the 10-week Unrivaled season will exceed what she would make in 4 years of her W rookie contract. My goodness, today. How does Paige's Unrivaled deal impact the WNBA?
First of all, the W is getting another win. They're getting another superstar player with championship pedigree, literally coming off of a championship. Only in the WNBA, well, a week ago, you play in the national championship, and then a week later, you are now getting drafted #1, and then you're going to go to another city in another month. You're playing games. It's wild, but kudos to all these amazing players. Paige Beckers, household name, millions of followers on social media. The W is winning. It's healthy, thriving, striving forward. I love this. A lot of comparisons have been made when it comes to salary, whether it is the NBA or even now Unrivaled. But what I will say when it comes to Unrivaled, everyone is taking note. The average player salary being $200,000 for, as you mentioned, Molly, a 10-week season. That is a standard. I think what you can see is an incubator of such. Unrivaled being a league, this is its first season where you find businesses and you find brands that can supplement what this moment potentially can be for women's basketball players. And it amounted in $27 million in revenue. A strong first year. So the fact that Paige Beckers can not only debut in the W in a month or so, but most importantly stay home and make good money, it shows you that the pathways for women's basketball is on the rise.
Well, I think that you're absolutely 100% correct in what you said, Kanae, but there's so much to add to that. You got to give major props to Paige Beckers because, not to say that you didn't, of course you did, but I'm just saying her business acumen, investing in Unrivaled before she arrives there with an NIL deal, having equity in the league, that's a big deal. So then all of a sudden, plus salary, projected salary for this upcoming season is a little over $78,000 in year one. You just talked about the average being over $200,000.
I ain't gonna lie, if I want to score 100, I'm gonna have to sprinkle in some threes.
Who's gonna be the highest paid player in the WNBA this year? I believe it is Kelsey Mitchell for Indiana, $249,000. It's the highest. Okay, so when you talk about Unrivaled coming along, I mean, this is a very, very big deal. So I'm just looking at it from that standpoint. Then I'm looking at it from the history of the WNBA. Only 18 players have topped $1 million in career earnings on the court, topped by Skylar Diggins-Smith at $1.56 million. That's what my research shows, okay? So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, if you're Unrivaled, and this is the kind of money, and you were projected to make approximately 12 to 13 million, but you ended up making over $27 million in year one, okay? That is a huge, huge sign. So Beckers is getting paid not just because of the NIL investment from last year, not just because of the money that they generated, not just because of the equity stake that she has in there, but now she's going to make money as a player as well. Meanwhile, building the league because she's participating in it and what have you. It's a beautiful, beautiful business move on her part. And she's showing not only that she's a champion on the court, but she has incredible potential to be a champion, you know, literally off the court as well, using the court to buffer her own cachet. It's big time, and she deserves credit for it.
I agree with you. Stephen A., you and I know this, and today you know this firsthand. There's nothing better than making money in a business that you're invested in or that you own. So you own it, and you still make money while doing it. Like, wow, who knew? That is great, and I'm happy for these young women that you're right, Sinead. They don't have to go overseas and go to China or Russia or wherever else they have to go. They can stay right here and make a nice supplementary income. Now, it's hard to say that the Unrivaled is supplementary. It seems like the WNBA is supplementary income, and the Unrivaled is their main source of income. But you're giving Paige Beckers the name and the face that she is, and she's coming with a lot of NIL money that's going to turn into endorsements and sponsorship. I'm happy. I am so happy for these young women that they're getting that opportunity to make some real serious money. And I'm proud of the league. I'm proud of Unrivaled. Nafisha Collier and Stewie, they need to be commended for coming up with this idea. And investors, I want to commend you guys for investing in them and believing in these women that they have a product that people want to see.
I was literally just about to say, shout out to the investors, dog.
When the PBA is all said and done tonight, hey, now all of a sudden it's 250. You know, the average maybe in the W is 250. And now you say, now they're making $500,000, and then we'll be like, okay, let us cook. Let us cook, Mr. Pot Scraper.
I'm sorry, I'm having a spiritual experience right now because we're finally speaking the same language when it comes to women's basketball. And you, Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, usually have to give myself a big old pep talk to pull up here and be like, oh, what they gonna say? What they gonna criticize? What? I am so happy we are here today. It's WNBA draft day. That's why it's perfect. But I'll just say this, because a lot of people take the numbers of Paige Beckers making X, you know, compared to what she's making an Unrivaled.
Are 2 of my favorite players going to be in Dallas next season? Is KD going to be with the Mavericks?
Sure every player benefits,
and is Paige going to be with the Wings?
Coming in now, a year from now, those numbers that people are comparing
and are the Saints moving to Dallas?
Before I came into I was looking on social media at Blue Origin, like all the women going to space. It was awesome. Gail King, Katy Perry and company. And I was like, wow, it feels like apropos. It feels like we're manifesting good vibes from the universe for women because in a few hours, Paige Beckers talking about Blue Origin. UConn Huskies getting most likely headed to Dallas, which is another, you know, a lot of blue, a lot of good love. Guys,
no, I'm with you. All good vibes. Full circle moment.
Appreciate y'all.
I just seen Kenny.
The Lakers have looked good in London. They're perfect in points. And typically, a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Got to be the least surprising breaking news tweet Shams Charania has ever put together. Coach Mike Budenholzer is out after finishing 11th. Still crazy. 11th in the Western Conference with a 36-46 record. We all saw this. The writing was on the wall. Things were not looking good. I mean, they had an opportunity, and it's still crazy to me that they missed the postseason completely. But they had all the opportunity in the world to at least make the 10th seed. You think about, hey, reminder, the Dallas Mavericks traded away Luka Doncic. And not only did they trade away Luka Doncic, the person they traded him for played 2 quarters before he went out with a major injury. In the midst of all of that, Kyrie Irving also went out with a major injury. So the Dallas Mavericks are just not looking good. Their 2 star players are just gone. And the Phoenix Suns are completely healthy, and they still couldn't catch up to the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks, some games, best player was Kai Jones. Other games, it was Brandon Williams. And no disrespect to those dudes, because I truly believe those are real NBA players. But I'm just trying to showcase to you that the Suns not even catching up with the Dallas Mavericks is a travesty. And I will go down to say that this current Phoenix Suns team is one of the most disappointing regular season teams in recent history. And that is saying a lot, because I would remind you, last year's Phoenix Suns team was hella disappointing too. I think it gets lost through time, but going into the 2023-2024 season, the Suns were tied for the third best odds to win the whole goddamn thing. They underachieved. They were a good regular season team and got to the postseason and got absolutely stomped by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Them boys didn't catch a game. They got so bad that Kevin Durant, who had been talking bad about Rudy Gobert and in Rudy Gobert's face in regular season games, went to the podium and said, damn, that dude Rudy Gobert is pretty good, huh? That's how disappointed they were. But me, being an idiot, saw that and saw the changes they made going into the season. I was not a guy, if you go back and watch the video, I did not believe the Suns were a championship quality team, but I thought that because of their offseason, they had the things that could help them become a really good regular season team. Let me break it down for you. In that postseason, they just felt like they needed new coaching. You saw that, and the guy that they brought in was Coach Mike Budenholzer. And one thing you can agree with, or at least we used to be able to agree with, Coach Mike Budenholzer was a great floor raiser for a lot of different teams. He comes into an organization and immediately they become better than they were before. I saw it as like, boom, that should help. Frank Vogel went into the league office or the office of the Phoenix Suns and said, Jones, bro, I need a point guard. Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are great at what they do, but we desperately need a real point guard. And this offseason, they got 2 real point guards. They got Tyus Jones, they got Monte Morris, and I don't want to act like those dudes are superstar level guards, but given what the Phoenix Suns were looking for, a guy that could just set up the other star players, those dudes are perfect. Tyus Jones doesn't turn the ball over. He's a facilitator. He does all of that. I want to say shout out to Tyus. He took a hell of a chance. And, you know, the whole Fred VanVleet bet on yourself works out for Fred VanVleet or Jimmy Butler. It didn't work out for Tyus Jones, who turned down more money to go to the Suns because it was a better opportunity to showcase, hey, I can be a winner. And eventually he lost his starting spot, and I don't know what the hell happens for Tyus Jones next. But they brought in real point guard play. They brought in a coach who probably fit, in my mind going into the season, fit better with the team, and none of that even mattered.
I can't hit a 3 with him, bro.
Once we got to around January,
I'm not going to do it if I can't hit.
Things were already bad. I could have put together 13 Suns videos talking about how disappointing the stretch had been, and I just didn't, because I didn't enjoy watching them play. I didn't enjoy watching them play. They have some of my favorite players of all time in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and I didn't enjoy watching them. It is insane to think about. This Phoenix Suns team had a worse record than the fucking Chicago Bulls. And it's not even just record. They had a worse net rating than the Spurs, who lost Wemby in February, than the Trailblazers, than the Bulls. Like, this is just so disappointing. So when I say that it was the least surprising breaking news of all time, yes, it is. And I'm hoping that this is not just the start or the finish of what's going on in Phoenix, because they need real changes immediately. Devin Booker has been in the league for 11 seasons now. He's had 8 coaches in 11 seasons. I want to say that again. He has had 8 coaches in 11 seasons. He's about to get another. That is ridiculous to think about. The only form of stability Devin Booker had was a 3-year stretch where Monty Williams was the coach. Before that, between Earl Watson, Igor, Jay Triano, who else? Frank Vogel, and now Coach Bud. The man has never really had any form of consistency. And now you think about who the Suns are and what's about to go on. Everybody, just like it was not surprising that Coach Bud got fired, it is not about to be surprising when Kevin Durant gets traded. Now, it's not even just, we're not even just talking at this point. Kevin Durant, if we look at Kevin Durant's tweets, which is, shout out to KD, he always giving us content. Let's go read his tweets recently. Ooh, Kevin, I had bookmarked this, Kevin. He deleted the tweet. Somebody has to have a screenshot or something. Give me a second. But Kevin Durant had tweeted this. Was this yesterday? Yesterday, and it's gone now. So I got to find somebody that got receipts.
Oh my God.
And like in the
The
vacuum,
fuck?
boy, do they always got the receipts. So, Aaron says, because you dribble 20 times, created more opportunities for double teams and turning the ball over. They're talking about some basketball stuff here. But Kevin Durant comes back with 3 turnovers in 36 minutes a game. 20 dribbles is an over-exaggeration, but I've learned Suns fans do that when they want to prove a point about how much they want me off the team. Cameron comes in and says, man, we don't want you off the team, Slim, but what other options we got? We can't run it back, and you'll get us the best return, respectfully.
I can't be picking up fouls.
Shook the hand. So the tweet that Kevin Durant did delete was the one that he was talking about. Suns fans do this. And he probably like, you know what, that's probably not the smartest thing to say. But damn it, Kevin, there's 55,000 people that already saw it, and I saw it too, then these people saw it. But the respectfully, recognizing that, this is probably over. Not even just that, Shams Charania also put out that, we're about to see, at the beginning of the summer, major changes that would include working with Kevin Durant and his business partner, Rich Kleiman, on a trade. So it is an inevitability at this point that Kevin Durant will be traded and Coach Bud is out. And then the conversation, if we're just strictly talking about the coaching for a second here, is like, what's next as a coach, right? We did just see two really at least good NBA coaches get fired. But I would remind you, the coaches that you just got rid of. You just got rid of coaches with championship resumes. You got rid of coaches who were widely seen before they took your damn job as good hires. So you're trying to tell me we're going to fire two championship coaches in Bogle and Bud and now bring in Mike Malone? Just continuing that recipe? Or are you going to bring in, Taylor Jenkins don't got no championship, but widely considered a good NBA coach? That doesn't make sense to me. So maybe the next iteration of the Suns coaching job is somebody without that type of resume. You take a shot on
It's gonna be a young coach.
Or not specifically Joe Mazzulla's type, a guy that's been on the benches behind the head coach for years and now has this level of acknowledgement or knowledge for the game or whatever. You go like the young route, but boy, have they tried that, where they went overseas to get Igor, and it was it was nasty. So I guess we got to wait and see what Coach James or GM James Jones ends up doing. But hey, maybe James Jones is going.
Shit, he might,
Maybe James Jones
get fired too.
He did a really phenomenal job building that Phoenix Suns team
that draft.
With Chris Paul and Devin Booker and McHale, and we get to Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, DeAndre Ayton. That team was magnificent. I actually missed that team. I took it for granted, even though my boy Chris Paul was on that team. He did an amazing job there. That's not it. You look at the history of their draft picks and him publicly saying that they don't really give a damn about draft picks.
He did good in the draft,
teams
though.
That are competing on a year-to-year basis.
He drafted this guy that's guarding Bronny right now, and I wish we had
the 30th overall pick, the 42nd overall pick. They genuinely care about getting the right talent in the door. I did think that they drafted relatively well this season with Ryan Dunn and also Iguodala, but other than that, just their history of drafting and trading on draft night is just straight up nasty. Getting back to the Kevin Durant thing. Has not obviously been great.
Oh my God.
And,
we could have had this, bro.
You're the person that can get us back the
like,
best return, respectfully. I just don't know how true
he had to go to the Trailblazers.
We've had a lot of great
Yusuf
trades and huge trades in recent NBA history. Hell, Kevin Durant was a part of a trade just 2 years ago.
Fucking Yusuf.
But given where the Suns
we had to trade
and
DeAndre,
the little amount of leverage they may have in these trades, what they gave up to get Kevin is not even going to be close to what they get in return. That's my speculation. What they can only hope for is one of these younger, decent teams flame out in the playoffs really early, and they give another GM a little fire under his ass to go get a guy like Kevin Durant to put the thing together. And what we are recognizing across hoops is that majority of GMs are just smarter now than 10 years ago. Hell, even smarter now than 4 years ago. Everybody's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. You have to be smarter given the constraints you have with the CBA and the second apron and all of these things. So I just like when Kevin Durant eventually does get traded, I won't be surprised if we all look at that trade package and be like, that's it, right? It ain't going to be Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and all the first-round picks. It ain't going to be that type of package for Kevin Durant this time around. And the only other option outside of trading Kevin is making the decision to trade Devin. And I hate that idea. I love singular team guys. I always have. And by all accounts from Matt Ishbia and the people up top, Devin Booker is not even available. But I do think you have to have that conversation, right? Again, one of those teams flame out and they're giving you a call. You have to take the call. You have to listen to the offer. You have to, Again, I hope that he doesn't get traded, but it would be malpractice, in my personal opinion, to not at least pick up the phone and give it some consideration. Speaking of malpractice, is get to Matt Ishbia. Because other than him lowering ticket prices and sending antennas to the locals and, lowering the price of in-arena food and all of that stuff, this is a great idea of what you should not do when you first buy a team. Some of the quotes that he has had over the last 2 years still completely blow my mind. What is the exact quote? Was it 29 other teams? Let's see.
Oh my God.
29 other teams.
Don't say that quote. Please don't say that quote.
26. I'm sorry. 26 of them would trade their whole team for our team and our draft picks and everything as is. That was a goddamn lie. Because you know,
He
being
was
a
talking
bad
about the
team or a
roster,
disappointing
bro.
team, there's levels to it with as far as fandom goes, right?
Fuck
I
it,
think
man.
there are a lot of tormented teams in the team fan bases in the NBA. But when you think
Bro,
about
didn't even
some of
make.
these
How did we
teams,
not even
like
make
the
the?
Jazz being bad, again, they know what they're
What the
doing. Like they have
fuck?
a goal, they're trying to achieve that goal. The Pelicans didn't come into the season with that goal in mind, but about 2 months in, they put it together. That's the goal. The Spurs end up losing Wemby. The Trailblazers have the goal. Then you get to the Suns, where the thing that these teams have to hope for the future, right? The Jazz, hopefully, fingers crossed, can win the first overall pick and Cooper Flag. The Pelicans, you know, they just got a new guy in. Joe Dumars is back. Joe Dumars ain't been GM or basketball ops guy for, 12 years or so? He's finally back, and we'll see what he ends up doing differently than what Griffin was up to. The Spurs obviously have Wemby, and the Trailblazers have a young team with their own draft pick. Even if we go out west, all of these teams towards the bottom, other than I would say the 76ers, like, feel like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Because you don't own any of your own first round picks, and because you don't know who your coach is, or because you don't trust your owner, or because you don't trust your GM, the Suns are just one of those tormented teams right now. And then you ask yourself, okay, let's do it. Let's ask 29 other GMs who would switch spots with Matt Ishbia and the Phoenix Suns. I don't know if it's one. I don't know if it's one. I don't know if there's one GM that's like, yep, I would rather take what the Suns got going on rather than that. And that's saying something. They got Devin, they got Kevin right now. I just don't see it. What other team could it be? Even a team that put out one of the most idiotic trades in NBA history, they're like, you can convince yourself that is still a better roster and a better organization than what the hell the Suns got going on. And then you get to the other quote talking about he doesn't understand a rebuild. And even if we lose this year, next year we're going to try to be better. And it's like, I think the sentiment makes sense, right? Like, there are teams throughout NBA history that didn't go the traditional rebuilding route and turn themselves into really good competitive teams and championship quality teams. It's just, I don't know, the feel of the quote. Yeah, what these other 22 teams did to be good, they tripping. You feel me? I don't understand why the OKC Thunder traded Paul George for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 13 first-round picks. I don't understand that work. I don't understand it. I don't understand when the Celtics traded away some of the greatest players in their franchise history to get a reset. I don't understand, even though it gave them Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It is like just really like a slap in the face to the other GMs across basketball and the other organizations, because every single one of these teams that we look at being good, the Houston Rockets went through, a 4 or 5 year rebuild, and now they have young, exciting talent with a great coach. That rebuild was very, very necessary.
Bro,
Even
how the
Lakers,
fuck did he score 100 points?
Post-Kobe went on their rebuilding thing, and then eventually they got Bron and used the young players
Was
they
it
got
12-minute
in
quarters
their
back then?
post-Kobe
He had to,
rebuild
like,
to trade for Anthony Davis and use that to win a championship, and to trade Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic.
no threes.
All of these teams
How the
have
fuck
gone
did
through
he do
their
that
route
shit?
of doing the whole rebuild, take a couple
Did he
years
do it?
back to get some draft
Did
capital
he do
and
it?
get our
Stupid
equity
ass.
up that way. Now, Ishbia's like, no, there's a 0% chance we do that because I don't understand it. And now Ishbia's an NBA or basketball guy, right? He played at Michigan State. Like, he knows basketball. He's played D1 basketball at the bare minimum. It's not like he's like the Dumont family over in Dallas that don't know
Bro, they
anything
act like
about
he like
hoops. He knows
7-1 or
hoops. He's been
something,
watching
bro.
hoops.
Get the
So for
rebound,
him to even
dog.
say that, specifically when you look at his goddamn roster and the lack of success they've had under him, I feel like it really
Oh,
just
who am I
slapped
feeling
in the
like?
face.
Oh my god.
I think it's a good way to sum up what I was talking about with, you know, them not having the light at the end of the tunnel. There are 29 teams that are either in the playoffs, play-in, or in the draft lottery, all except for the Suns. Now, that can change with the Kevin Durant trade. You can work your way into a lottery draft spot, obviously. But, and it's so funny in hindsight to be like, damn, Coach Frank Vogel wasn't that bad, huh? At least he got us to the playoffs, damn it. So, yeah, I don't know what happens next for the Phoenix Suns. And I guess we have to wait and see.
Ah, too late. No, that's a steal. Ah, it's 2 fouls. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
It's his second foul, but not the end of the world. One more before halftime, though. That would change some things.
Here's Feibel. Scoreless thus far. Wide open look here for Murray. Drills it from outside.
I think the defense has more concerns.
Where is it though?
And they give him a good open look from the perimeter.
James kicks to Milton. Screen by James. On the wing, James. That's the free fly.
Respect.
And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retain possession of the ball.
Let it flow through my body. Let it flow through my... Vic. What the fuck Vic talking about? Well, what the
Like
hell?
a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Jake from State Farm, everybody.
How did I miss that? Like, in what country do I miss that, you know?
So, what's up? How's it going, man? Yeah, of course. If I say no, you're gonna write bad articles, so you just don't have a choice. Especially you. Feeling good. Feeling good. I mean, it's good to be with the team. It's good to work hard again, so feeling good.
To do on the court or off the court or any what physical activity are you allowed to do?
So I'm able to do like hard work, hard lifting, and also basketball work. But it's all very controlled and light. And even though sometimes I feel like I would like to do more, it's logical, medical direction. So I trust the process and I trust the medical staff.
Are you allowed to do any contact yet, or
no?
Still do you have a sense of what that timeline looks like when you might be able to do that?
Kind of course, but I mean it's all, as I said, we're taking our time, and I'm neither late or early, but it's a process, and there's definitely steps we need to reach before that.
Vic, sorry to take you so far back, but it has been a while, and going back to All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
It was the last time you talked to us. What was that whole week? If you could play it again, like the flight back, when did you figure out something was wrong? I'm sure that was a hugely emotional week for you. Just if you could describe that whole process of finding this huge news out.
So at the time, I definitely didn't know, But looking back, I did feel a certain way, I mean, I wasn't in the best shape ever on the All-Star game. But I mean, of course, it's something really hard, and I'm not gonna lie and say it's easy, but I am gonna say though I was ready for it because it's part of the my job to be ready for injuries and such. So by no means it was easy.
That's a foul.
To learn and to process that, but by no means I was not ready. I was. I think I did, and I'm still doing the best we can do, taking care of my body, trusting the incredible work of the medical staff. But it's, I think it's something that, I mean, I'm sure it's something that I'm going to use to grow up and get better.
When you found out?
No.
I know the season obviously didn't end the way you wanted to. Talking about that, but just when you look at the season, when you look at it, take us through your thoughts on your year, a second year here in the NBA.
Looking back, I mean, a lot happened, a lot unexpected, of course. Whether it's, of course, my stop in the season, or even Pop, learning what happened to him. It's stuff like this. But looking back, there's some great memories. I'm thinking about the Christmas game in New York, and that whole trip, the Paris games, those are all incredible memories, and there's even more to remember about that season. I mean, all the LA situation, we're there for a while. I mean, but I said before, it's all about adaptation. So we adapted, and I think we can. I think my teammates really showed some incredible things.
So we get Shadur Sanders or what?
And
really let us get Shadur Sanders, bro.
I think we probably have
I'm telling you
a big reward for that, because I think Steph pretty much, did the job to getting Rookie of the Year. And if he does the job tonight, I think he's got it unlocked. So it's we still get some incredible memories and incredible rewards for that season.
Along those lines, Vic, Steph having the year he did, you got Fox in the mix now.
Yeah.
He is definitely the guy.
Great source of excitement for you heading into the season in terms of what you could be next year.
Of course, and I'm not going to expand on that too much because it's all remains to do for me. But it's I'm hungry, and I will be ready. I think it's all about perspective. All the attention I got from the incredible people here, incredible at their jobs, incredible persons too. From my visits to the hospital and such, I think I got as good as a care as you can get as a patient. So I'm looking back, I'm really lucky. This happens, but all of us in that room, all of us in the league, we do with what we get. We do with what we
Come on,
we're
bro.
blessed
I
with.
gotta
And
hit those. Like,
I'm still in the 1% luckiest people. So I got nothing to complain about. And it's really slight setback.
The acute question, one, you just said care as a patient. Does that indicate that you had surgery, or are you talking?
It's there's many more things than surgery.
it's grass
when you go
cutting
to the hospital
season,
for a
boy.
blood clot, so I'm not gonna expand on my medical record, but it's I definitely did some visits to the hospital and to the doctors and to the specialists of all kind.
The only question is just about the job. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, waiting, rightfully so for Pop to make a decision. But do you need to know what's your mindset as far as the coaching situation going forward?
I mean, it's I trust the organization. I trust Pop to make all he can to come back to get his energy back, and I also trust Mitch to grow into that role. So it's I think we're in good hands. We're supporting each other all throughout the organization. So I don't know. It's something I'm ready for anything, and I know the organization will do the good decisions.
Right here, Matt. As you've had this chance to sit back, what have you seen from your teammates, the people that theoretically are going to be around you for a while?
I've seen some energy in the court and dedication that has grown throughout the season. And at some point, I even felt like, damn, I wish we played like that when I was there, because I'm willing to do, these guys they do dirty work, they sacrifice for the team every single game. Of course, we always think about the guys like KJ or Blake who are just machines, give 100% all the time, but the whole team embrace that energy, and I'm willing to show that I'm ready to do that too, and because I'm willing to do the dirty work just as they do every night.
Wendy, if Steph Castle wins Rookie of the Year, what would that mean to you personally as a winner of it yourself?
It would mean, the first thing I think about is, Rookie of the Year, you got one chance to win it. After that, it's over. So it's a big milestone, and I'm really proud. First of all, I'm really proud of Steph for what he's done in his adaptation in the league, in his growth. But I'm really proud of my teammates for, also giving him the chance to do that, being good teammates, good friends, creating an environment, because it's never one man's job, just like the organization and my teammates and the staff did for me last year.
Oh, that's fair, bro. Gotta chill.
Encourage Chris Paul to come back for another season.
Of course. It's without a doubt, yeah.
Going back to February, were you just shocked when they said out for the year?
Was I? I don't know. I mean, I had symptoms, so I kind of looked into it before. I wouldn't say I was shocked, but to hear it from the mouth of a professional is different than to imagine, for sure.
You ever heard of deep vein thrombosis before you had it?
Mm-hmm.
Just big picture, looking at the expectations you
Bro.
had for your career in January compared to what they have now.
What January?
What's that?
What January?
But before this happened.
Okay.
I'm saying, but before you found out.
Okay, yeah.
Like, did you have to readjust your expectations for your life or your career at all, or is
No, definitely not. I mean, I know it's I'm over this problem, and more than being over. As I said before, it's something I'm going to use, and I think, unfortunately, most of us need something like that to happen to them to realize something. So it's going to be in the long run, it's going to be good for me.
Quand on peut plus faire le sport en fait qu'on aime à ce moment-là, comment est-ce qu'on compense en fait, tu vois, adrénaline, d'habitude,
c'est dur.
Par contre, on la remplace.
Quand on la remplace, là, ma tête tourne beaucoup plus qu'avant, c'est sûr, mais d'un côté c'est positif parce que ça me permet de réfléchir à beaucoup de choses, beaucoup de projets et de beaucoup mieux se projeter en fait sur la carrière, sur la manière.
I've been waiting on him to say that for so long.
C'est une expérience qui fait grandir. Donc j'ai pas de soucis à ce niveau-là, je m'ennuie pas. Et comme tu disais, je peux bosser dur maintenant, donc c'est plus facile.
Yep.
Est-ce que tu sais aujourd'hui si cette thrombose était en fait un
problème? No, he did not say that. He did not say that.
Est-ce que c'est ça ou est-ce que c'est autre chose en fait?
Je sais si ça l'était ou pas, oui.
Travail photo a dit que les marques.
Hey, you shut that down real quick. Fuck out of here.
Bien sûr. Je sais pas si c'est réaliste aujourd'hui. Il y a beaucoup d'incertitudes. Et je pense que je suis sûr même que se projeter, ça serait pas du tout pertinent. Mais évidemment, c'est ma volonté de faire toutes les compétitions de l'équipe de France.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. He should win Rookie of the Year. I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna be really good.
Une idée vague, ouais, bien sûr. Mais disons que c'est un problème tellement particulier que faut pas y aller en doutant. Il faut être sûr de sa décision et ça prendra un peu de temps d'être sûr de sa décision.
Ton favori pour le titre de rookie de l'année.
What?
Est-ce que tu as le temps de regarder un petit peu sa saison, ses derniers matchs à 38 points?
C'est incroyable. Je trouve qu'il s'est vraiment bien adapté dans le système, dans la franchise, et qu'il a un rôle très intéressant dans une équipe qui a des enjeux, mais sans forcer, sans beaucoup de déchets, surtout pour un rookie. Donc voilà, j'ai d'autant plus confiance en l'équipe de France pour le futur.
Oh, bitch. Let it flow through my body. Let it flow through my body. Let it flow through my body.
With Amex Platinum and access to the Centurion Lounge, it feels like a home game.
Cheers.
Even on the road. That's the powerful backing of American Express.
And welcome to the All-NBA show powered by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet at FanDuel.com/AllNBA. I'm your host, Adam Mares, and I'm rejoined by my esteemed colleague, Tim Legler. Legs, you and I both running around. I'm in a different office today. You've got calls with ESPN, so we're a little later today, but how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just, interesting weekend. I had to go do that Milwaukee-Detroit game that meant absolutely nothing. That turned into the Pat Connaughton quest for 40 points. Which he was able to pull off, which was kind of fun, actually. I like Pat a lot, so it was kind of fun to watch him, be the focal point to that extent in a game. It just played out that way. It meant absolutely nothing. All they wanted to get out of it was nobody get hurt. And now we move on. We move on to the actual games that really, really, really matter starting tomorrow night. I'm very excited about it.
Doing this show has been so great for a million reasons, but I also love, we know you love real hoops, and we know you hate fake hoops. So now you're a true pro. Good to listen to in any circumstance, but it is funny knowing, like, hey, Leg's got a meaningless game. Good luck to him.
Yeah, listen, I prepare the same way no matter what, but, it was a little different. I'm sitting there making my game notes before I headed to the arena yesterday. It was a little bit different knowing who was not going to be out. You're doing extra research on these guys that were going to be like Pete Nance. I'm like, Pete Nance is going to be, he played a ton. He made like 5 threes. He's a center. I'm like, I need to know about these guys. So, because you don't see him in the regular season at all. So but yes, you're right. You know me very well.